Azure Gleam. Skirmish in the fog. The Holy Kingdom of Fargus grants refuge to the Central Church as they flee Garrigmach Monastery, in turn provoking the Adrestian Empire to declare war on Fargus. While Dimitri and his advisors strategize how to repel the Empire's assault, they are met with devastating news. Lonato of Castle Gaspar has raised an army against him.
As I'm sure you have all heard by now, House Rowe in the south has declared its fealty to the Empire. What's more, Lord Lonato of Castle Gaspar has set out with the express intention of tracking down and murdering the Archbishop.
I had hoped we could reconcile the matter by using neighboring lords as intermediaries. But it seems Lord Lonato couldn't look past our willingness to shelter the church, and has taken the matter into his own hands.
I can't believe this.
Ash, I won't stop you if you wish to return to Castle Gaspar, even now.
I appreciate the offer, truly. But I am a knight of the royal family. My place is here.
So, what are House Rowe and Lord Lonato's soldiers up to? Or the Imperial Army, for that matter?
There's been no movement from House Rowe as of yet. He likely lacks the nerve. Lord Lonato, on the other hand, has set off from Castle Gaspar and launched an attack on Geraint land. Meanwhile, a vanguard from the Imperial Army has breached Kingdom territory. It seems they're aiming to rendezvous with Lonato and join the assault.
Wait, but if they're just a vanguard, doesn't that mean a larger force is going to come after them? We'll never stand a chance if they manage to meet up and form one massive army.
House Galatea is sending reinforcements to fend them off, but our enemy deployed alarmingly fast. I only hope the House Geraint soldiers can repel Lord Lonato and his men long enough.
In any case, we can't just sit here on our hands. They need help, and fast. Let's ride.
You're right, and I'll be coming with you.
The risk is too great, Your Majesty. You should stay here in the capital.
We've already been over this to do. My leadership is needed on the front lines. We'll march west from Karen territory to intercept and crush Lonato and the Empire's forces. From there, we'll mount an attack on Aryan Road. The Rowe army will be cut off from the Imperial reinforcements and fall by our hand. Finally, we'll seize control of Aryan Road and the entire Western Front along with it.
I'm asked a distant relative of the royal family, Duke Ivan, to keep watch over the capital in case of an emergency. Gustav will be staying behind as well. So as long as nothing too extreme happens, we shouldn't have anything to worry about.
Sounds like a plan. Most of the big fights are gonna be around Aryan Road, if I had to guess.
No matter what, we need to hurry. We'll be done for if we don't drive them off soon.
Agreed. And my apologies. We always seem to deploy with such haste lately.
It's nothing. It's not like it's your fault or anything. Sure, you're the king and we're your subjects now, but we're your friends before that. We'll do whatever you need of us.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Oh, and one more thing before we go. I received word from the church the other day. Seteth and his sister Flame will be joining us from here on out, leading a company comprised of Knights of Seros.
Seteth, huh? I'm not the kind of girl to turn down a helping hand, but I can't help but wonder why.
I haven't had the chance to discuss it with him yet. Perhaps you can ask him yourself if the opportunity arises. Do you have a moment? How are you? I wonder...
Right on.
I implore you. Troubling indeed. Speaking of which...
Curse that doddering old fool. Striking out on his own was idiotic to the utmost degree. Had he only been more patient, we could have all joined with the Imperial Army's main corps and mobilized as one cohesive unit.
It seems the kingdom's offer of shelter to the Central Church incensed him to act. You know how deeply Lord Lenato's hatred for the Church and their kind has festered. Ever since the day they brought a blade down on his son's neck.
But what of his adopted son? Wasn't he made a knight of the royal family? For a time he served the Grand Duke of Etha as well. I can't possibly fathom what the man is thinking.
Really? The matter seems rather open and shut to me. He possesses a burning hatred for both the Church and the Archbishop at its head. Just as they deserve the ultimate punishment in Lenato's mind, so too does the king, who has chosen to take them in.
If only he'd slowed down for a moment to consider how his ridiculous actions would affect me. I carried out my betrayal of the kingdom with the promise of imperial protection of our territory firmly in sight. That will, of course, all be for naught if this ends with our lands razed to the ground and my head skewered on the lance of the enraged King of Fargus.
I imagine he will be quite angry, yes. We should prepare ourselves for what's to come.
If Lord Lenato and his men fall, Aryan Road is sure to be met with a siege. In which case, we hand it back to the kingdom. A peace offering, if you will. But if Lenato emerges victorious, we defect to the Empire as planned. Both sides covet the fortress. Whichever way the winds of war blow, we only need match them to stay afloat.
Are you sure, Your Excellency? Normally you'd balk at such cagey behavior.
Don't play dumb with me, Gwendol. You've said it yourself. There will be no shame in surrender as long as you fight tooth and nail to the end.
After the last 2 years with Dimitri, I thought we'd seen every battlefield there is to see in Fargus. But Magdred Way, huh? This one's new.
A little foggy, don't you think? I might even hazard to call it a lot foggy. You've never fought in conditions like these, so you do well to keep what wits you have about you. If you're not careful in this fog, you could find yourself walking straight off a cliff. Horrible way to go, if you ask me.
Come on, you're not my mom. I can handle myself.
Wow, look who woke up on the confidence side of the bed. If that's how you feel, maybe you don't even need my help anymore.
You know what? Yeah. Why don't you sit this one out? I've got a thing or two I can show you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. And, just in case you forgot, if you die, I go with you. Our fates are intertwined, so don't do anything too reckless, you understand? Now come on, let's go.
There's no telling where our enemies might be lurking in this fog. Be at the ready for potential ambushes.
Protect you.
Understood. In any case, we lack the luxury of waiting for it to clear.
Allow
Lenato
me.
must be
handle
found
this.
and put to the sword as soon as possible. We will begin by advancing our front line. All forces, prepare to march.
No backing down. Not even against the king himself. We fight for Lord Lenato.
I can barely see my hand in front of my face. Hey, didn't we bring torches? see way better now.
Handle this.
This will make moving around a lot easier too. Allow me.
It's not personal.
Allow me.
I can go. Are you ready?
Got you!
I'll handle this.
Take a breather.
This isn't a battle.
This moment.
It's a bloodbath. We were set out here like lambs to the slaughter.
Take a breather.
This is almost too easy. Press our advantage.
I've awaited this moment.
Allow me.
I got this!
Allow me.
I'll handle
Everyone,
this.
fall back! We need to regroup!
All is proceeding apace, but don't let up. And keep an eye out for Emblem.
This is our chance. Allow me.
Time to get to work.
These mercenaries must be reinforcements from the Empire. I shall take the lead. Everyone, gird yourselves.
Didn't think I'd get another shot at the Ashen Demon this soon.
You're more capable than I expected.
They're holding back. So much for gauging their strength.
Witness my true power!
Looks like I'm late. Guess I'll get working on my orders.
Miklon? From House Gautier? What is he doing here?
So, my brother's joining us. Looks like His Majesty really pulled out all the stops.
I'll stop the enemy dead in their tracks. You all use your brains and figure out how we win this thing.
Someone must be giving these mercenaries their orders. We're going to fight them. Miklon can handle things on his own.
I didn't expect they'd have reinforcements, but it doesn't change much. We know what we have to do. Now all that's left is to do it.
Are you seriously going to sit back and let someone else handle the Ashen Demon for you?
How close? Allow me.
I'll handle this.
I can go. I won't back down.
Allow me.
I may be new to Gerald's band, but my only hope is that I don't get you all killed. That funeral would truly be a grave affair.
I can go.
Allow me.
Allow me.
Still in the fight.
I'll handle this.
Allow me! Allow me!
Come then! Let us fight with honor!
I can go.
Trust nothing! I won't be the one to drag my new comrades down!
Are you ready?
Trust nothing! I can stand this no longer. I'm falling back.
We should reach their commander if we can get past Eloise.
I can go.
I'll handle this.
Prepare! Allow me!
Allow me.
It was only a matter of time till they found us. Let's give them a nice, warm welcome.
They're tough. These are no ordinary mercs.
I can go.
Allow me.
I guess the years are starting to catch up to me.
My turn. It's my trip.
That's all I've got, Your Majesty. You hear me? Realize.
Out of the way.
Enough of this foolishness.
They were a formidable opponent. Would that we could have finished them here. But greed in battle will only end in tragedy.
So they beat the kid. These kingdom folks are tougher than I thought.
I've awaited this moment.
Take a breather.
I'll handle this.
This is our chance! Oh, Lord!
This job's not worth dying over. Fall back!
So the mercenaries have fled. On to the next.
Send in the auxiliary units.
I'll handle this.
Glad those mercs are gone, but this fog is still as thick as ever.
It's likely that sorcery is to blame for the predicament we find ourselves in.
Then we'll just have to cut those mages down. If they're the ones invoking this fog, defeating them should dispel it. For the love of...
Take a breather.
I shall take the lead.
Your trickery ends here. rest falls to you, Lord Lenato.
The fog is lifting! We did it!
The time for subterfuge has passed. We shall meet now in honest combat.
Out of the way!
Victory will be ours, Lenato. Come, everyone. We will overwhelm our foes. I shall take the lead.
You like that?
My turn?
Allow me!
Allow me! I won't back down.
Not yet!
I'll handle this. Take a breather.
I've awaited this moment.
Take a breather. Enemy down.
You're in peak form today. I shall take the lead.
Careful.
But he's done so much to ingratiate himself with the Empire. We can't exactly leave our new friend to die, can we?
No, not now. Lenato is but one step away.
If we can just try to reason with Dorothea, then, we might be able to settle things peacefully.
I had a feeling something like this might happen. So I prepared a technique of my own to guard against their magic.
The might of Adrestia is on our side. Yes, with our combined forces.
My turn.
Messengers! We need to stop them before they call for backup.
Thank you. This will surely help.
Is this the end? No, I can keep fighting.
Dorothea, please! I don't want to see you die for nothing.
I can't say I want that either. All right, you win.
If His Majesty means to shelter those vile church rats, then I shall rebuke him to my final breath. Fling open the gates.
Renato, it's time to settle this.
I have burned far too many bridges to turn back now.
I've awaited this moment.
And not a moment too soon.
Just one foot in front of the other.
Reliable as always, indeed.
You must reconsider, Your Majesty. The Central Church's blessing is not but a poisoned chalice.
Forgive me, Renato, but I must grasp it all the same. This is the brightest future I can give my people.
see Kristoff avenged, even at the cost of my own life. Pathetic. Forgive your fool of a father, Kristoff, for he is soon to join you.
The battle is over. A fine effort, everyone. Especially considering the conditions.
Guess we did our job at least.
Well, well, doesn't someone sound disappointed? And what's with that look?
I don't know. We completed our mission and all, but it still feels like we lost somehow. Sure, we stopped Lonato, and we put Geralt and his mercenaries to rout. But not before they dragged us through one of the toughest fights we've experienced. And most of all, I failed to take down the Ashen Demon. If that's not a loss, I don't know what is.
Wrong. You were hired to do a job, and you did it. And in the process, you've received a valuable reminder about the unique danger the Ashen Demon poses.
You're right. I can't believe one fighter could turn the tide of an entire battle like that.
Precisely. They're surely going to continue standing in our way, so do try to dig a little deeper the next time you square off.
Yeah, you're probably right. Thanks for the chat.
By the by, have you seen our valiant leader? I wonder where he's scampered off to.
No Felix or the others in sight either. Maybe they're having a meeting or something.
Sounds like you should try to track them down then. Though, on second thought, it may not be any of your business.
I probably shouldn't be sticking my nose into their private matters. But I am pretty curious. Let's go.
You did well, Miklana. I will remember the deeds you've performed here today.
You know as well as I that I only did it for the money. Your money.
That's the man from before.
I don't mean to question you, but why exactly are you eavesdropping on them?
It looks like they're having an argument. Butting in now would just make things worse.
What are you playing at, Boar? This washed-up bandit doesn't deserve to look at our army, let alone be a commander in it.
It's a decision I made in collaboration with the Margrave. 2 years ago, after I ascended the throne, I ordered Gustav to capture him, made him swear his allegiance to the royal family, and gave him a unit of soldiers to command.
Spare me the details of how you did it. What I want to know is why.
My army was lacking leaders. We needed capable fighters to fill in the gaps. As for Miklon here, the Margrave himself has instructed him in all manner of military tactics. I've seen his prowess with my own 2 eyes. In the centuries since the time of King Lugh, crests and relics have kept Fargus safe. We've come to depend on that power to protect us from outside attacks, and grown all too complacent in its wake. Naturally, we will take full advantage of our heroes' relics in the battles ahead with Adrestia. But we cannot protect our home with relics alone. If all who could wield them fell, so too would we. The blood of the heroes is thinner now than ever before. We need men like him among our ranks.
I don't doubt the truth of your words, but that's not the issue here. Do you really think it appropriate to trust a man barely removed from his life as a brigand with the responsibility of command?
Everyone's heard the stories of the elder Gautier brother, how he resorted to banditry and plunder. Do you not think our soldiers would object to being led by a man with such history?
Command, huh? It's got a nice ring to it. But you should know, I'm just a prisoner. My attendants, my aides, my best men, all stooges for the royal family. Breathing down my neck every waking moment. All the sleeping moments, too.
No wise remarks, Sylvain? You're standing there mute, as if this has nothing to do with you.
I was one of the first His Majesty consulted with. There's nothing I could say that I haven't already. I'm sure you can't stand the sight of me, Miquelon. But let's see if we can't get along, okay?
Huh. Anyway, now that we're all caught up, I'll await your next orders, Your Majesty, sir.
Let me guess. Any means necessary?
I won't defend it, though I do see use in such a man. What he did in his time as a bandit was monstrous, I admit that. And I deserve no small amount of judgment for giving him command in spite of it. But I can't help but wonder. Perhaps his life could have been dramatically different had he only possessed a crest. Same as the uncle I murdered.
I understand your reasoning, Your Majesty. Yet he's hurt so many people.
What's done is done. Stolen goods may be returned, but stolen lives cannot. If the man is unwilling to atone for his wrongdoings, then he will pay for it with his head. If he does wish to repent, however, then what better way to do so than by risking his life on behalf of our people? If any among us still can't forgive him, by all means, take up your arms and enact vengeance.
I get what you're trying to do, but you still should have talked to us first. This isn't about who shoulders what blame. It's a matter of letting us know what you're thinking.
You're right, Felix. My apologies. Now then, we march on Aryan Road as planned. With House Rowe's military might crippled, seizing the fortress should be a somewhat simpler matter.
The Silver Maiden. Can we really take it?
You saw how many troops they've already lost. Just plain math will tell you there can't be that many of them left back at the fortress. At least I sure hope not.
And I am sure Houses Karen and Geraint would be willing to lend us a few squadrons in return for the aid we provided them.
Agreed. And their militaries are both formidable indeed. I'll have to factor their support into our strategies moving forward. And what of you, Ash? Will you be joining the fight at Aryan Road?
Yes, I will. Though I do appreciate the concern, Your Majesty.
As long as you're sure you can handle it. Do not hesitate to retreat if it becomes too much for you. House Rowe's forces aside, we now have the added threat of Gerald and his mercenary band to contend with. The very same mercenary band you had been looking for, is it not?
Yeah. One of them in particular, a warrior known as the Ashen Demon, felled my entire company back before I met you. Not sure I'm looking for revenge exactly, but I do want to surpass them, no matter what it takes.
I see. This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Sorry, I wasn't really trying to hide it or anything. Just never came up, I guess.
I believe I understand. Overcoming Gerald and his mercenaries is what drives you in life.
Yeah, you could say that. It's the closest thing to a goal I have, for sure.
In any case, those people cannot be taken lightly. I'd like to avoid crossing blades with them as much as we can, though we'll likely encounter them sooner rather than later. Imperial forces are still encamped in the former Arendelle territory, after all.
Right. We'd better be ready for anything.